Okay, so here we are on the interface here. Very quickly, I'll go over the interface. If you're already familiar with UJAM's interfaces for their other plugins and guitar stuff, you can skip over this part because it's pretty much the same. But basically, for Sparkle 2 here, we have the pickup selection, neck and bridge, blend between the two. We have the characteristics of the guitar, twang, bite, soft, fat. We have different amp settings, clean, direct, crunch, crisp, crush, and then we have a drive control. We have the stereo width. Focus is kind of like an EQ thing. And then we have tuning of the guitar variants, and then we have a mount of Stompbox effect here. We have all these different Stompbox effects that we could go through. And then we have a finisher, which is kind of like the end of the signal chain. And you could have all kind of effects here, ambience and effects, and then the amount of that as well. And they also have separate finisher plugins that you could buy separately too. So that's pretty cool. And then down here, the player. Now the way this works is for the styles, I would kind of have two different presets here. We have the style preset that you can select down here. These all go by different tempos, but they work at any tempo because it's MIDI. And this is just like the suggestive tempo of the track, or the style, I guess you could call it, phrases, if you will. And then over here, we have another kind of preset for pop, indie, alternative, funk, rock, electronic, and pads. So this is more the guitar sounds. It's pretty cool what you can do with this thing to get some experimental sounds out of this as well. Now, when you change these presets up here, it's also going to change the pattern preset because they kind of have it set up that way. So if I go to the pop preset, it'll select a different guitar sound and a different pattern style. Now, we also have dampening, which kind of does like a mute, palm mute kind of thing. Latch mode, which I like to put it in latch mode by default. And then over here, these are common phrases. So no matter what sound you have on, what you're playing, these phrases here are going to remain the same. And this is from key switches C1 or C0 to C1. And then the style phrases for each of these different styles here are going to be your C2 up to about C3, where C3 is where you actually trigger the chords. And we'll go into all this and play some demos. And also, the patterns get more complex as you move up. So they're simpler here, well, more complex when you get up to here. Same thing with these ones. C2, it's a less common or less busy pattern, I guess, and it gets a little busier. And then we have silence as well. And then the chords, you could either play these, there's different ways to play the chords. One finger chords, and then you can get more technical and stuff if you're used to playing keyboard. But let's just demo this real quick. So this is a long chord with fill. I think that says generic rhythm sustain. I need my glasses to see. Open. So let's just, for example, we'll do this. We'll play a chord up here. And I have latch turned on, so it's just going to keep playing. If I just do it without latch, it'll stop playing when I take my hands off the chord section. And then we have a, let's see, what's this one? Open 1, 1. So as you can see, I'm not going to play every single pattern. A lot of common phrases that you can pretty much use in most styles. And of course, the guitar setting here is right now is the default that I have it loaded up. We could change the guitar sound, take the delay off and such with all these different controls. Let's see here. So yeah, and then if we could change the style here, again, I'm just playing the common phrases, but the styles are over here. So let's go to C2. So the style phrases will change by the different patterns I pick up here. like so. All right, so, and then we have over here, we have the chords. You could do note mode. Or chord mode. Now, if I play a C, just a regular C on the keyboard, it's going to be the C power chord, as you can see over here. And then I can play so you can always see what chord's playing here, regardless of, you know, obviously if you're playing on a keyboard. If I'm playing a C minor on the keyboard, it's going to play a C minor chord. Yeah, so, and we can also put in different keys here to make sure that you're always in key. Then we have open chords here as well. Which I'm not sure what the difference was there between what I just did earlier, but something to look into. And there's a keyboard thing here that explains all this stuff. There's the common phrases, picking slide, slide down. So yeah, I actually forgot to show that. And then let's go through some of these presets here, and then we'll play with the context of a song with some of the other UJAM instruments. So we got the factory sounds. Let's start off with pop. I'm not going to play every single preset because obviously there's a lot here. But again, this is going to change the characters of the guitar. And the style phrases down here right now. Just put one of these on. So pretty cool. And then also we could drag these into MIDI, these phrases. These are all, so say I play the C chord here. I just drag and drop that C chord pattern into MIDI or to my DAW, and we're good to go. Some common phrases again over here. Of course, I switched back to the style phrases. And one other thing on the interface too, we got the micro timing. We got the sync mode, which I always put on song position myself. We could do half time, double time, regular time, push and fill, swing the beat, eighth notes, if you will, and then loosen tighter for the humanization. And we also have an instrument version over here, which we'll go into in a bit. Let's get back to some demo sounds here, though. And check this out too. I'll check this damn thing here. So we could do that as well. Now, let's say you're going through the presets. We'll go through a different one here. And let's say we like that, but we don't want so much reverb. We go to the finisher here, and we could pick all kinds of different crazy effects. We go to the effects, different reverbs. Let's see here, pop guitar. I don't know what this one is. A little bit more dry without the reverb. We have the amount switch here. So that's kind of like a delay and reverb all together with the pop guitar finisher here. Then we have the width, cool, which is on. So now we're back to like a mono thing. The focus is kind of like an EQ. Like right now it's kind of like in the, I guess, 11 o'clock-ish. Little darker as I go down, a little brighter as I go up. Of course, we could switch the crunch to the amp. We got our drive control. So the point being is, once you find a sound that you like, you could even tweak it further. Really cool. You could even put the amp into direct mode, bypass R effects, and use some kind of other third-party amp simulator if you want. But there's so much stuff in here, so, you know, why bother with that? But you can. Auto wah, syncopated. Put some reverb on there. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. Let's go through some more of the presets here. So lots of very useful, I mean, I haven't even scratched the surface. Let's go into Indian rock, Indian alternative rather, see what happens. Almost sounds like an acoustic guitar. Oh, finisher, simulated acoustic. That's interesting. Neat. Funk. So lots of really useful stuff here. I can't believe how many presets are in here. So here's the rock, lo-fi wave. And then we got stuff, I guess this is for electronic music. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Go into some pad sounds. Then we have the instrument setting here too, which we have different key switches for this. Over here, we have these different key switches. We have muted. This is articulation. We have half mute. And then we have open. And I guess the playing style will be down here. So we hit that. We play the chords with our right hand. And then we have up and down strokes. And then we have the single notes. So let's try this out. A little bit of a learning curve here. Play the chords with your right hand, patterns with your left hand. The cool thing is with your left hand, if you play, I have the muted on right now. Let's go back to open. Let's play a C chord on my right. And then we have the C chord. A little bit of a strum sound there. Switch to D minor. So I'm playing the same pattern with my left hand, but as I change the chord, it's changing the notes as well. A little bit of a learning curve, a little bit get used to, but you can have fun with that and experiment to come up with your own patterns and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Let's check it out within the song. Okay, so here we are with the track. I loaded up the Deep plugin by UJAM as well here for the drums. And then I have Dandy here for the bass. And the cool thing about the Dandy and Deep plugins, I did a whole other video about these. You can check that out. But these ones kind of work together. They have the same kind of names for the presets. So when the bass line plays very well together with the drum pattern, in other words, they're kind of designed to play together, which is really nice. So you can check those out as well. So basically what I did here is I just created a chord pattern in MIDI and got a couple chords and even some one note chords that triggers the guitar or bass. And then I just copied that down to the bass line. So another cool way to work with MIDI with their same product line, the bass guitars. I'm sorry, the bass and guitar kind of trigger the same way. So basically I'm using the same MIDI pattern that I used to control the chords. And then they'll play together. Open Sparkle here. And we can go through some different sounds. Common phrases, start with just a whatever. So pretty cool. We could just do that instantly. And we could explore some other sounds here within this plugin. Let me actually turn the guitar down a little bit in the mix. See what we got going on here. Now, obviously, every pattern is not going to work together with what we got going on, but you can explore, and we'll just do this as a first look kind of thing, exploring for myself, because I have no idea what's going to happen when I switch the patterns and stuff here. Let's see what happens. And of course, you can tweak stuff further, explore other rhythms and phrases. So we got some very traditional guitar sounds as well as some more experimental guitar sounds, which this thing's kind of designed for. And of course, if we change our drums, maybe we'll put a different drum beat on of some sort here. Try some of these funk patterns. So that's pretty cool. All right, you get the point. We can go on for days messing around with stuff. So anyways, endless hours of fun putting this into your tracks can really spice things up if you're looking for some really cool rhythm guitars and stuff like that. Clean sparkle and some distortion as well. Nice Stratocaster virtual instrument here for you.